Today, we're talking about something pretty cool. How massive dreams, the kind that change industries or serve a nation, almost always start small. But, and this is the key, they always start with a plan. Let's get into it.
Everything we're going to talk about really boils down to this one powerful idea. Keep your dreams big. A small start will do. I mean, that's it, right? It's a huge reminder that where you start doesn't have to define where you're going.
All right, so let's kick things off with our first story. It's a perfect real-world example of how a tiny start, but with a massive dream behind it, literally changed the game.
So picture this. It's 1981. A dream is taking shape in a tiny apartment. What came next was just years of pure grind. The founders called it din menhanet rakho, basically working hard all day and coding all night. And from that one little room, Infosys exploded into the global giant it is today.
And get this, they started with just 10,000 rupees. That's it. That's all Narayana Murthy and his 6 friends had to kickstart a company that would eventually employ hundreds of thousands of people. It just goes to show you a clear vision is worth so much more than a ton of cash up front.
But here's the thing. It wasn't just about the coding and the money. Their whole foundation was built on something much, much stronger. When nobody believed in them, they chose trust. When they were running out of money, they stuck to their principles. That ethical core, that wasn't just some nice to have. It became their secret weapon, the real key to their success.
I mean, the Infosys story is absolutely incredible, but it brings up a big question for all of us, right? It's great to have a dream, but how do you actually make it happen? You need a map, you need a guide, you need a blueprint.
And that's what brings us to our second path. We're going to switch gears here, from the world of business to public service, and look at a totally different kind of blueprint. The syllabus for the Uttar Pradesh Sub-Inspector exam.
Now, at first glance, I know what you're thinking. This looks like a pretty dense, boring government document. But for thousands and thousands of people, this right here is their roadmap. It's the official plan that spells out every single thing they need to know to achieve their dream of serving their community.
So let's actually break this blueprint down. You can see the exam is split into 4 clear sections. Each one has 40 questions, each is worth 100 marks. So you've got a total of 160 questions for 400 marks. The path is tough, for sure, but it's crystal clear. There are no hidden secrets, just a big mountain that you have to climb step by step.
So what does it really take to conquer this blueprint? Well, it all comes down to mastering 2 big things: a whole lot of knowledge and some seriously sharp reasoning skills.
The first part of this challenge is all about building that foundation. You need a solid command of language with general Hindi. You've got to know the law of the land, inside and out. We're talking the Indian Penal Code, human rights, all of it. And on top of that, you need a wide-ranging knowledge of the world, from history to what's happening right now. Then there's the other half of the test, which is all about how your mind works. Sure, there's numerical ability, your practical math skills, but then it goes deeper into mental ability and reasoning. They're testing everything from your logic and problem-solving skills to how well you can spot patterns. These are the skills an officer needs on the job every single day.
Okay, so we've looked at 2 very, very different paths. One's an entrepreneur, the other's a civil servant. But if you look a little closer, you start to see the exact same spirit pushing them forward, from the hard work at the beginning all the way to the finish line.
And this table just lays it out perfectly. The dream is different, right? Putting India on the global tech map versus upholding the law. The challenge is so similar. No resources on one side, a massive syllabus, and crazy competition on the other. But the method, it's identical. It's that relentless, consistent hard work. Both journeys are about chasing a vision that's bigger than yourself, whether that means building an institution or earning the uniform. So that's the real point here. It doesn't matter what your goal is. Every huge journey, every empire, every single great achievement, it always starts small.
Let's just end on this thought, because it brings us right back to where we started. Because every empire once started from a rented room. And it doesn't matter if that room is a small apartment where you're writing your first line of code, or a quiet corner of a library where you're cracking open a textbook. That's where it all begins.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. We all have that big dream, right? But the real question is, have you found your blueprint? What are those clear, defined steps that are going to take you from your small start to your incredible destination?